I'm sorry you had to see this, but I'm not gonna pass on an opportunity for easy money, am I? So let's watch that Kingdom Come Deliverance trailer.
Peggy 18.
Now, this came out last night at the Summer Games Fest, and of course, with Jeff Keighley announcing everything, there was always talk of a new trailer, and actually Warhorse Studios announced this was coming pretty early on. But it looks absolutely gorgeous what they've done with this game.
And then boots you right in the balls.
I also like kicking below average men in the back. It is one of my... okay, so we have blacksmithing. We have full blacksmithing. That looked like gameplay there, which is the first time that we've had something like that.
How dare you speak?
Nice.
Gentlemen, praise be to our Lord
Father
Jesus
Godwin,
Christ.
he's back. I think he's some sort of maniac this time.
There are many sinners
More naked people and okay, brilliant. More sex, lot picking, brilliant. Stealing, stabbing, whipping. This is going to be raunchy as hell. A lot of blood.
The last time I ran away, I lost everything.
I'm never gonna run from that fucker again. Kiss our asses!
God.
Hold on, I'm pretty sure I got that helmet from Manlords. 1 second. I got it. I found it. I have chosen my side. Okay, I actually can't watch it like this. Ah! Right, man falling off a horse, carry on. Okay, more gameplay of guns and, of course, the combat, which we'll be getting into in a little bit because there's some interesting stuff that's come out of that. Dropping rocks, pushing down ladders, and, of course, shooting people with crossbows in the face. It looks like that was actually a proper army in the background.
To the fucking task.
Okay, so it looks very much like they are showing a lot more information about the game, which I'm very excited for. So let's go back and let's actually take a quick look at what we've got here on this trailer. So we open up, of course, with Father Godwin. I'm assuming this is, considering what he's dressed as, looking upon one of the new castles that's going to be in the game. Because, of course, there's going to be two different maps. One that's going to be this huge city, the salt mining city, and two that's going to be more of the countryside, and I'm assuming this is the second map. But Father Godwin is exploring the world. There looks to be a battle here. Some of the bodies are being burnt. I don't know if we get to see some of this skirmish a bit later on. However, I've got a feeling this is going to be where the game opens. However, what is interesting is that this is a white greyish horse here, and we're riding a white greyish horse. But this doesn't look like the silhouette of Henry. This looks more like the silhouette of Father Godwin. So do we get to play as multiple characters? I doubt it, but it looks like an interesting idea if that's what they're going for. Okay, so this is our first little bit of gameplay, or cutscene, should I say, in the daytime. We have that same castle here with what I would assume is, yep, Henry on horseback here. We've got Hans Capon on his horse with his famous horse cloak. And, of course, the dog that actually comes up a little bit later within this video. Because, yes, the dog is coming back like it was in the Woman's Lot DLC where you could train your dog. You can actually make it attack now, and you can pet your dog. This is Hans and Henry. They look goddamn amazing. In fact, I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Beautiful. And we go back to Father Godwin as well, because what he says,
These two young fellas, I need to find them.
he's got to find Henry and Hans, because we met Father Godwin way back in Kingdom Come Deliverance. I don't know if Father Godwin ever met Hans, though, however. But this is where we get a first look at one of the new features. Blacksmithing was a part of KCD 1, but it was mostly just, well, sharpening your sword and cleaning your sword. There wasn't anything in terms of actually building weapons. And it looks like that's going to be within this game itself.
A smith. And the other's a blue-blooded fledgling.
So, yeah, being able to actually craft weapons is going to be interesting. I wonder how far that's going to go. Is it going to be full like Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord? Or are we going to be very much surface level with it as well?
A blue-blooded fledgling.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to be getting into a lot of fights. I mean, the amorous adventures of Sir Hans Capon was a good DLC, and that kind of explored, I think, what they're going to be expanding with in the second game.
Behave like a spoilt brat. How dare you speak?
Gentlemen, praise be
Godwin's back, of course.
to our Lord Jesus Christ.
He seems like he's going to be an actual decently sized character within the second game, because he really wasn't within the first game. So I'm interested to see how they expand him. You can see him actually traveling with Henry and Hans, because of course we're playing as Henry. We've got Hans, we've got Father Godwin here. We've got a vast landscape with rock formations down in this area. There's some buildings over here as well, but it looks huge. By the way, both of these maps are going to be about the size of the first game on their own. So we're actually going to get a huge overall game in itself with various areas. Of course, we get onto the... That's the place exactly where I wanted to stop. So love stories will continue within the game. I'm assuming this is all going to be part of cutscenes once again. I don't think we're going to get... Do you know what? Maybe we should get a mini game. Warhorse Studios, do you want to put in a mini game for everything within Kingdom Come 2? Because this looks like it would be a fun mini game. I mean, messing around in the hot baths. We can see Henry in the background. We've got Hans here, and we've got this woman. There she is. Let's get back onto some of the gameplay, though. I think that's probably a bit more important. Lockpicking. It's making a return, and I'm interested to see how they expand it, how they evolve it. It was one of the more famously controversial parts of the first game. A lot of people were annoyed by the lockpicking because it was so hard and almost impossible using a controller, so console gamers were a little bit off-put by it. However, hopefully they're going to improve it. It'd be stupid if they didn't, and I think, you know, I think that's got to be something that they focus on at this point in time. But stealth is definitely going to be a part of KCD2. There were options within the first game of how you could approach situations, but a lot of the stealth really came in the open world, sneaking into places, stealing stuff from chests, assassinating guards. There was a few missions, like I think you had to save some lads from the fort and you had to sneak out of the fort. But there wasn't a lot in the main storyline where actually stealth came into fruition in a big way. A lot of it was just you do a mission in this exact way. This is how the story progresses. However, I think we're probably going to get more options in the second game because that's something that they definitely seem to be promoting here. My God, this game looks absolutely gorgeous. This is all gameplay, by the way, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Now, this battle here looks to be the similar terrain of this battle here. We're going to be defending, and of course, the Pragians are going to be attacking. That's what this crest is, as far as I'm aware, on the coat. The coat of arms there, yeah, that's signifying that they are from Prague itself. And if you don't know, well, that's where Big Bold Man is claiming to be from.
The last time I ran away, I lost.
Look, he's got it. He's got the old symbol. So that's where Big Bold Man is from, and Mark von Platzer-Schmatz. He's the guy that killed Henry's parents, so he's going to be the main villain in here. Is it going to be the end of its story? I think it probably could be. Yeah, you can see that's where all this has become. We've got Henry and Hans and Father Godwin and everyone up here. We've got a Pavis shield, which is interesting. Pavis shields were big square shields you could put into the ground. Of course, fire crossbows from behind them. That's what it was mostly used for. We can see that Prague coat of arms that's come back once again. And, of course, it's being worn by Mr. Boldman with my helmet. Cheers for that, mate.
God, is this retribution for my sins?
I think this is Jan, whatever his name is. You know, the famous Czech guy? I think that's who this is. Oh my God, it looks so detailed. It looks so good. It looks like a movie, a lot of this. More gameplay, firing on horseback. Of course, shooting the same kind of guys. And then we have some gameplay of shooting, well, with the basic firearms, more like hand cannons sort of things. They're going to be incredibly rare to find and, of course, not very accurate whatsoever. But as you can see, if you're in a tricky situation, they're going to be useful and coming in useful for taking guys out. Now, this is our first proper look at some of the combat as well. They look gorgeous. This is full gameplay. And I really, really, really love the detail that's been put into this armor. I mean, look at the design work going on here. Overall, though, the combat, I think, is probably going to go down a similar line. Mostly one-on-one combat. I don't know how they're going to improve it because there was criticism in the past with the first game's combat. I personally liked it. I think a lot of the complaints were unfounded, and I mean, it was kind of a purpose of the mechanic of the game where you spend time working on that combat, getting better at it. And then when you get better at it within your character skill level, then it becomes incredibly easy. And there we have a look at half swording, something that wasn't in the last game. A few details, and of course your execution moves as well. Dropping rocks, a new feature, and pushing down ladders as well, something that we haven't seen in the past. Now, actually, if we look up into the battlefield, what can we see? Well, we have another siege here from the Prague army. Looks slightly different to the other one in terms of the terrain, and of course, it's not nighttime, so it's not the same as those guys being dragged away. However, yeah, we've got more power shields, which is where crossbows are going to come into fruition because they're going to be a big part of it. And my God, he's just got a bolt that's heading straight towards his face. That is brutal as hell. Now, this is what I wanted to stop on before. You can see this army here. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, yeah, it's still the Prague symbol over there. We probably got Mark, whatever his name is. Bold Man is probably one of these guys in the background. But this looks to be a decently sized army. We've got siege equipment as well being pulled by horses. And, of course, some guys going up for some negotiations. And Henry looking incredible in that armor. Attack dogs. You're going to be able to train your dog to do some fighting. And, of course, the sieges are going to be absolutely huge. Overall, I am incredibly excited for KCD2. There's been a ton of information that's come out so far. It looks like they're making big improvements upon the first game, which is what they needed to do. And I'm all here for it. So, please let me know what you think. Also, if you want to go and see more reactions and more upcoming news and content, go and check out my second channel. It'll be linked in the description below. But until then, I will see you in the next one.